To me, social justice has at least two different aspects. One is that it refers to a belief in the equality and dignity of all people as kind of a natural human trait, that we're all entitled to equality and dignity. But also, social justice means that the government has a duty, not just to sort of get out of everyone's way and not interfere, not discriminate, and so on, but that the government also really has a responsibility to people to make sure they can kind of realize that promise of equality and dignity. I also think that a lot of social justice issues can be traced back to economic inequality in our society, and that although that is its own pressing issue, but that it also intersects with everything else you can call a social justice issue in many ways. But to me, I will say to me, the one that I have focused on most in my career as a lawyer has been reproductive rights and reproductive justice. So those rights are also profoundly under attack right now, and constantly and unrelentingly. And I think it's an issue that is sometimes thought of as kind of its own separate issue. It's sort of not maybe a mainstream concern all the time. But I think, once you think about how many social injustices really are reproductive justice issues, it becomes a much broader concern. So, it's not just about abortion rights, which are, again, under constant attack from the legal side of things, but also just access to health care, access to prenatal care, but also just basic health care. The ability to live in a safe home that doesn't have, lead paint and lead in the water. Concerns around infant mortality often trace back to, again, racial and income inequalities. Our clinic is one of the main ways I think that our law school advances social justice. So the clinic serves only clients who cannot pay. We also, in the law clinic, have a project that does works in the community. It's the Community Development Clinic. And what they do is they work with nonprofit organizations in the Cleveland community to help them with all sorts of legal needs that they might have that, again, it's not easy for them to go out and afford, a high-priced attorney. I think it's very important that we have a social justice institute here. It's something that I will tell anybody who asks about it, anybody who will listen. I tell prospective law students about it all the time. I think it's one really important thing about it is that it is truly interdisciplinary and is one of the few centers or institutes on campus about which that can really be said, that it draws from faculty and students across the campus. Its programming is really very interdisciplinary and open. It's also very much committed to intergenerational programming, which I think is unique. I can't think of another thing that we do on campus that is really focused on bringing younger people, high school students, college students, also graduate students, faculty, staff, sort of everyone together, and to gear programming to all of those groups. But also I think it's just being able to tell people that we have this social justice institute that is so vibrant, that is supported by the university strongly, sends a real message about what's important to this institution. And I think, again, given the political climate that we are in, given the city that we live in, Cleveland, I think it sends an important message that the university, cares about the community, intends to play a positive role in the community, and that social justice and ethics are also a part of a university's mission. And I think it's so important that the university supports the Social Justice Institute as a way of saying that to people.